Did you tire of listening to Doctor Strange's stories? The ones where multi-tentacled old ones feasted on cavemen?
Nah, actually that sounds up my alley. I just needed some fresh air. Plus, Robbie likes to crank the volume on his video games, and I don't like loud noises.
Right. Your, costume is sensitive to powerful sonics.
You know, it's funny. My other has protected me from so many things over the years. Sometimes pushes away more than just bullets.
Maybe you scare a few people, but at least you are protecting them. Dead people cannot say thank you.
Honestly, most of the time, the people I save are too scared to say anything.
Fear can be incredibly disabling.
That's one way to put it. I should probably carry a backpack full of fresh underwear for all the bladders I disable.
So your other's appearance is functional, but is it necessary?
Maybe not. I'm not the only person who bonded with my symbiote. The suit often changes appearance with each new host.
Care if I run around the Abbey wearing the symbiote for a bit?
I do. The relationship I have with my other is very intimate. Feels like a betrayal whenever it takes on a new host.
Like wearing someone else's underwear?
Maybe a bit. If your underwear had tendrils and constantly wanted you to feed it.
You and your symbiote have an interesting relationship.
It's simultaneously the strangest relationship I've ever had, as well as the most comforting. Thanks for talking about it, Hunter. I don't think everyone inside would take the time to understand how I tick. Thanks for spotting me, Hunter. I needed to burn off some steam after that last mission.
I am surprised you have any steam to burn.
My symbiote boosts my metabolism. Helps us bounce back quickly.
So you never need a Stark drive? And why are those so popular when they taste so bad?
3 words, Hunter. Clever marketing.
That was 2 words.
Oh, well, the 3rd word was caffeine.
If you rely on the symbiote, why push your physical body to its limits?
I often push myself past the point of exhaustion because I have to be able to compete. Most of the heroes in this house were either born with fantastic abilities or were handed them after they were dipped in radioactive alien slime.
Eddie, you are literally covered in alien goo that allows you to shatter bricks with your fist.
Yeah, sure, that didn't come out right. The symbiote gives me fantastic abilities, but I can't rely on it for everything. I maintain peak conditioning in case my other gets compromised.
Did your parents instill you with this powerful work ethic?
Guess you could say that. My mother died in childbirth, and my father blamed me for it. Spent most of my childhood trying to measure up to that monster's unattainable standards.
I'm sure that was difficult. I know what it is like to have a parent who is a literal demon.
Yeah, well, doesn't make the family photo albums easier to look through. But thanks, Hunter. Now you know why I push myself so hard. I need to be strong enough to protect all the innocent people out there who aren't strong enough to protect themselves.
I cannot argue with that, Eddie.
This chapel brings back some old memories.
How? Your first time at the Abbey was when Peter and I brought you here.
True. It's just this place reminds me of the church where we fought Dracula.
I never took you for a religious man, Eddie.
I don't know what I believe anymore. Just because I dress like a monster doesn't mean I want to be one. Remember how I told you I used to be a reporter?
Yes, like Peter.
I'm nothing like Parker. That boy exploited his heroism to make cash taking blurry photos. I was a journalist. I wanted to mix it up on the streets, uncover the types of corruption that exploits the little guy, speak truth to power and all that jazz.
That is very noble, Eddie. You seem destined to become a great hero.
I appreciate that. Maybe you're right. Unfortunately, at some point, I lost my way. Cut a few corners with an important story, didn't double-check my sources, and ended up embarrassing myself publicly. I lost my job.
That sounds hard, Eddie.
After my father disowned me, I ended up at a church that looked a bit like this chapel.
Looking for a new start?
Looking to end it all, actually. But that's when I was saved by a higher power.
Is that when you changed your clothes?
Yes. I didn't know it at the time, but Spider-Man had just rejected the suit. He'd used the church bells to drive it off. Both of us were feeling hurt and abandoned. We both needed each other. On that day, the symbiote and I united. And we vowed to become something better. A lethal protector who safeguarded innocence. On that day, we became Venom.
I heard you also tried to murder Spider-Man.
Trust me, he had it coming. You know, some days I feel a pull. Like something far off is calling my symbiote home.
Space is enormous. How would you make a trip like that?
Good question. I don't know. Most of the time I'm lucky if I can afford a bus ticket to San Francisco.
Do you ever wonder about your symbiote's life before you bonded?
I don't have to wonder. I catch the occasional flash of memory from my other. Only bits and pieces, but they tell a whole story. In one, I see it bonding with a genetically modified Kree soldier who fought in an intergalactic war. In another, I feel its bloodlust as it stands over the icy graves of fallen foes.
Do you share any memories of when it bonded with Spider-Man?
Yes. I prefer not to think of those.
Why not?
You don't know him like I do.
Why do you hate him so much?
It's a long story.
I can make it through Doctor Strange's astral explanations. Test me.
Honestly, I'd rather listen to Doctor Strange talk about the smell of the astral plane than dig into my history with Parker.
You are just stalling.
Remember how I said I lost my journalist job because of some embarrassing reporting? That was partly Spider-Man's fault.
Spider-Man got you fired?
No, he caught the bad guy, like he always does. He just exposed the flaws in my reporting when he did it.
But if Spider-Man did nothing wrong, why do you hate him?
He ruined my life and rejected my other. You can't argue with emotions. Look, the symbiote feeds off my hormones. If they aren't perfectly bonded, a symbiote can suck their host dry.
Are you saying your shared hatred of Spider-Man helped you and your symbiote bond?
In a way.
You owe him your life.
In no way.
But you and Spider-Man get along now.
Sure. If by get along, you mean my other and I agreed not to eat his pancreas.
That sounds like true friendship.
Sure, but it's nothing like the one you and I have. Your pancreas is safe from us. I'm really starting to get used to this place. Sure, the dorms are cramped, but it's better than the rat-infested sewers I've spent more than a few nights in.
A caretaker placed runes around the abbey that prevent wild creatures from entering.
It doesn't explain how Wolverine made it through the door.
I believe there are exceptions.
Hunter, can I ask you something?
That is the only question you do not have to ask me.
Okay, well, how do you do it? How do you balance the pull between light and dark?
The light and dark you feel inside are not at odds with each other. Recognize that they do not command you. You command them.
I'm good at being strong, Hunter. I practice that every day. But the kind of strength you're talking about? Well, I haven't worked those muscles in a long time. I'm not like some of these other heroes. I'm no Captain America. Some days, I don't even think I'm a Spider-Man.
I had not noticed.
Those heroes often do what is right, even if that means letting their greatest foe live.
Do you regret the lives you have taken over the years?
I regret a lot of things, but never the lives I've saved. My point is, I feel a darkness inside that I can't escape. But I can focus that hate and point it toward those who deserve it. Those who would hurt innocent lives.
A moment ago, it sounded like you actually admire Spider-Man.
Spider-Man has caused me more pain and frustration than almost anyone. But he fights to save innocent lives. As much as I sometimes want to see him suffer, I know this world needs him.
You may battle your inner demons, but you also help people.
Thanks, Hunter. I'm glad I never ate you while I was possessed by your mother.
Surprisingly, I have heard that before.
So, thanks to my other, I don't often feel the need for companionship. But you're all right, Hunter.
The feeling is mutual. I'm glad to know you will not eat my brain anytime soon.
Of course not. I had half a lobe yesterday.